My friends, you are far greater than you have been led to believe. You are not separate from God. You are the very expression of divine consciousness, shaping reality through your awareness. When God speaks, he does not thunder from the heavens. No, he whispers through the fabric of your own being, revealing himself in ways that only the awakened eye can perceive. Many wonder, how do I know when God is speaking to me? They search for voices in the wind, but the voice of God is subtle, moving through your body, mind, and circumstances. Today, I will reveal 6 physical signs that God is calling you to awaken to your true power. There are moments in life when everything seems to pause. The noise of the world fades, the worries that once consumed you lose their weight, and an indescribable peace settles deep within your soul. This is not mere coincidence, nor is it a random moment of relief. This stillness is a sacred space, a divine pause before something great unfolds. It is in these moments that God is speaking, not with words, but with silence, preparing you for a shift beyond what your senses can yet perceive. Many people mistake this silence for stagnation. They assume that if nothing is happening outwardly, then nothing is happening at all. But understand this, before the greatest breakthroughs, there is always a moment of quiet. Just as the dawn arrives in stillness before the sun bursts into the sky, so too does transformation come after a period of inner calm. The silence is not emptiness. It is the fertile ground where your next reality is forming. Have you ever noticed that before a storm, the air becomes eerily quiet, the winds stop, the birds go silent, and an intense stillness takes over? This is nature's way of bracing for what is to come. The same occurs in your life. If you find yourself in a season where everything seems unnaturally peaceful, where the usual worries and distractions no longer grip you, it is because something is shifting beneath the surface. Do not mistake this for inaction. It is the preparation for a momentous change. This inner stillness is also a test of faith. When nothing seems to be moving, when the answers you seek do not come right away, will you trust the unseen? Many become impatient in these moments, trying to force action, but those who understand the language of the divine know that the quiet before the breakthrough is necessary. It is in this space that you align with your destiny, where your subconscious prepares to bring forth what has already been set in motion. Sometimes this stillness is accompanied by an overwhelming sense of knowing. You may not be able to explain it logically, but deep within, you feel that something is about to change. There is a shift in energy, an unshakable sense that your desires are on the verge of becoming reality. This is not wishful thinking. It is divine confirmation. The stillness is not emptiness. It is full of promise, full of creation. It is God's way of whispering, "Be ready." And so when you find yourself in this sacred quiet, do not rush it. Do not let fear convince you that nothing is happening. Instead, embrace it. Allow yourself to rest in the assurance that something powerful is unfolding. The stillness is the sign that God is working in ways beyond your comprehension. Stay present, stay expectant, because when the silence breaks, you will step into a reality greater than you imagine. There are times when God speaks, not through words or external signs, but through the very fabric of your being. Your body, the sacred vessel of divine consciousness, becomes a messenger. You may experience sudden chills, tingling sensations, warmth spreading through your chest, or even an inexplicable shiver running down your spine. These sensations are not random. They are signals from the infinite, whispers from God, awakening you to a deeper truth. Many dismiss these feelings as mere bodily reactions, perhaps a change in temperature, a fleeting emotion, or an unexplained nervous response. But those who are attuned to the divine recognize these moments for what they truly are, the stirring of the unseen. When a wave of energy rushes through you during prayer, meditation, or even an ordinary moment of reflection, It is God making his presence known. It is the physical world responding to the spiritual. These sensations often come when you are at a crossroads, when your spirit is on the verge of revelation. Have you ever felt a sudden shiver when thinking about a decision, as if something beyond you was affirming or cautioning you? Or perhaps a warmth in your chest, a feeling of peace that seems to embrace you from within? These are not coincidences. They are signs, guiding you toward alignment with divine will. Sometimes, these sensations arrive unprompted, interrupting your routine without warning. You could be walking down the street, sitting in silence, or even speaking with someone when suddenly a surge of energy washes over you. It is in these moments that you must pause and listen. Ask yourself, what was I just thinking? What was I about to do? What is God revealing to me right now? The body never lies. It is always in tune with the whispers of the soul. These unexplained sensations are most powerful when they accompany moments of deep conviction. When you declare something with certainty, when you affirm a vision, when you embrace a new reality as if it were already yours, you may feel an undeniable rush of energy. That is divine confirmation. It is as if God himself is saying, yes, this is the way. Pay attention to what your body reveals in these moments. It is a direct response to the creative power of your thoughts. So do not ignore these signs. Do not dismiss them as meaningless. When your body responds in ways you cannot explain, when chills, tingles, or waves of warmth overcome you, pause. Be still. Acknowledge the presence of the divine moving through you. These sensations are proof that God is speaking not in words but in energy, in feeling, in the undeniable connection between the seen and the unseen. If you listen closely, you will realize your body has been a messenger all along. There are messages that words cannot carry, truths that cannot be spoken in the language of the waking world, and so God speaks through dreams and visions, painting divine revelations upon the canvas of your mind. When the conscious mind rests, the barriers of logic and doubt fall away, and the infinite realm of imagination opens. It is in this sacred space that God whispers secrets meant only for you. Have you ever awakened from a dream so vivid, so intense, that it lingered with you throughout the day? Perhaps it was not just a dream, but a message, one too powerful to be ignored. The subconscious mind is the gateway to the divine, and when God speaks through dreams, he often reveals what your waking self has been too distracted to notice. Recurring symbols, unfamiliar places, or even encounters with people long gone, these are not mere figments of imagination. They are clues, guiding you toward a deeper truth. Some dreams serve as confirmations. You may have been praying for direction, searching for an answer, and suddenly in the stillness of the night it comes to you. A vision so clear, so undeniable that you wake with an unshakable sense of knowing. This is God bypassing your doubts, speaking directly to the core of your being. When you receive such a dream, do not dismiss it. Write it down, reflect on it, meditate upon its meaning, for within it may lie the answer you have been seeking. Other times, dreams come as warnings. You may see yourself walking down a path that feels unsettling, encountering situations that stir unease. These are not meant to frighten you, but to awaken you, to steer you away from what no longer serves your highest good. God does not only show you where to go, he also shows you where not to go. Pay attention. Do not ignore the uneasy feeling that lingers after a troubling dream, for it may be the whisper of the divine, calling you to course correct before it is too late. Visions, too, are a sign that God is speaking. Unlike dreams, they do not always come in sleep. They arrive in moments of deep stillness, when the mind is quiet enough to receive them. You may suddenly see an image flash before you, a place, a person, a moment yet to unfold. It may come as an unshakable mental picture, one that feels more real than imagination. This is not a coincidence. This is a glimpse beyond time, a preview of what is already set in motion. So when you dream, do not take it lightly. When a vision appears, do not brush it aside. These are not random flickers of the mind. They are divine messages, waiting to be understood. Keep a journal. Reflect on patterns. Ask for clarity in prayer, for in dreams and visions, God reveals what the eyes cannot see and what the mind alone cannot comprehend. The question is, are you paying attention? There comes a moment when something within you stirs, an undeniable urge, an inner knowing that whispers, it is time to move. You may not understand why, and you may not see what lies ahead, but deep within, you feel the pull. This is not mere restlessness, it is divine guidance. When God speaks in this way, he does not send a thunderous voice from the heavens. Instead, he plants a feeling so strong within you that ignoring it becomes impossible. At first, this urge may appear as a quiet discomfort. The job you once enjoyed now feels suffocating. The relationship that once felt secure now feels misaligned. The path you were so certain of suddenly seems like a dead end. You may try to rationalize it, convincing yourself that nothing is wrong. But the feeling persists. It lingers in the back of your mind, growing stronger with each passing day. This is God's way of nudging you toward something greater. Many resist this calling because change is uncomfortable. The unknown is terrifying. You may question yourself, what if I make the wrong choice? What if I lose everything? But understand this. When God calls you to shift, it is never to take something away. It is to position you for something far greater. That strong urge is not just a random thought. It is the voice of the divine redirecting your steps. The longer you ignore it, the louder it will become. Sometimes this urge comes suddenly, like a spark igniting out of nowhere. One day everything feels fine, and the next you can no longer tolerate what no longer serves you. Other times it builds gradually, a growing awareness that whispers, this is not where you belong. You may feel drawn to a new opportunity, a different place, or a fresh beginning, even if it makes no logical sense. But that is the nature of divine guidance. It does not operate by logic, but by faith. And so when you feel this pull, do not dismiss it. Do not let fear silence the voice of God within you. Pay attention to where your spirit is guiding you. Trust that if you are being called to move, the path will unfold as you walk. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to take the first step. The discomfort you feel is not a punishment. It is a sign that you have outgrown where you are. If you are feeling the urge to change course, do not resist it. Lean into it. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to tell me? What is no longer in alignment with my soul? The answers are already within you, waiting to be acknowledged. God does not place a desire for change in your heart without reason. He is calling you forward, inviting you into something greater. The only question is, will you listen? There are times when no matter how hard you try, doors refuse to open, plans fall apart, the job you thought was secure vanishes, a relationship you believed would last crumbles, an opportunity that once seemed promising slips through your fingers. You may feel frustrated, confused, even abandoned. But what if I told you these obstacles are not punishments? What if they are divine course corrections? God's way of steering you towards something far greater. When you encounter resistance, the natural reaction is to fight against it. You push harder, trying to force things to go your way. But sometimes, the more you struggle, the more things fall apart. This is not failure. It is a redirection. God does not allow something to be taken from you unless he is preparing to replace it with something better. The obstacle in your path is not meant to stop you, but to turn you in the right direction. Consider how a ship navigates through the ocean. When strong winds push it off course, the captain does not curse the wind, he adjusts the sails. In the same way, when unexpected setbacks arise, they are not meant to destroy your journey, they are meant to realign you with your true destination. A delay may be saving you from disaster. A closed door may be protecting you from something not meant for you. What seems like rejection is often divine protection. At first, these course corrections may not make sense. You may wonder why something you wanted so badly was taken away. But later, when you look back, you will see the pattern, the wisdom behind it all. You will realize that if things had gone your way, you would have settled for far less than what was meant for you. The obstacle was never against you. It was always for you. So when you face a setback, do not let frustration blind you to the bigger picture. Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? Where is this redirecting me? What greater path is being revealed? When you shift your perspective from resistance to surrender, you open yourself to divine guidance. The struggle ends when you trust that everything, even the obstacles, are working in your favor. Remember, what looks like an ending is often a new beginning in disguise. The job that let you go may be making room for your true calling. The relationship that ended may have been clearing space for something deeper. The opportunity that slipped away may have been redirecting you towards something far greater. God is not blocking you, He is guiding you. The question is, will you trust the path, even when it does not look like the one you planned? There is a reason why certain dreams never leave you. No matter how much time passes, no matter how many distractions arise, that deep longing remains. You may try to dismiss it, to silence it with logic, but it always returns, pulling at your spirit, whispering to your heart. This is not mere wishful thinking. This is God speaking through desire, calling you toward the life you were meant to live. Desire, when it is pure and persistent, is not random. It is divine intention moving through you, revealing what is already yours. When you feel an unshakable pull towards something, a vision, a calling, a destiny, it is because it has already been set in motion. You are not chasing it. It is drawing you toward it. This is the secret most people do not understand. If a dream truly belongs to you, you do not have to force it. You only have to align with it. Many people ignore their deepest desires because they seem impossible. They convince themselves that the dream is too big, the journey too uncertain. But if God placed that desire within you, He also placed within you the ability to fulfill it. The longing in your heart is not meant to torment you. It is meant to guide you. That pull you feel is proof that the path already exists. Your only job is to trust it. This magnetic pull often shows up as excitement, a spark of energy when you think about a certain path. Even in moments of doubt, the thought of pursuing it feels right. Pay attention to this feeling, because it is more than just emotion. It is divine direction. The body responds to truth. When something is meant for you, you will feel it before you understand it. At times, fear will try to convince you otherwise. The mind will present every reason why it will not work. But here is the truth. If the desire is from God, it is already yours. Your role is to assume it, to walk in faith as if it is already done. The moment you align with the vision, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you activate the forces that will bring it into reality. So if you feel that pull, do not ignore it. Do not wait for perfect conditions or absolute certainty. Follow where it leads. God does not place a dream within you without a way to fulfill it. The longing you feel is the path revealing itself. The only question is, will you answer the call? God is always speaking, not in the loud and obvious ways we often expect, but in the stillness, the sensations, the dreams, the obstacles, the urges, and the deep magnetic pull toward our destiny. These signs are not coincidences. They are divine whispers, guiding us toward alignment with our highest purpose. The question is not whether God is speaking, but whether we are truly listening. Are we attuned to the stillness before a breakthrough? Are we recognizing the physical sensations that confirm divine presence? Are we paying attention to the dreams and visions that reveal what the conscious mind cannot see? Are we surrendering to redirections, trusting that every obstacle is a hidden blessing? And most importantly, are we brave enough to follow the desires that refuse to leave us, knowing they are placed within us for a reason? When you begin to trust these signs, life no longer feels random. You realize that every delay, every nudge, every sudden shift is part of a greater plan unfolding perfectly in its time. The resistance fades and faith takes its place. You no longer chase, you align. You no longer fear, you trust. So as you move forward, listen closely, be still when needed, move when called. Trust what you feel, because when God speaks, it is not to confuse you, it is to lead you. And if you dare to follow, you will find yourself stepping into a life far greater than anything you could have imagined.